It's virtually 14 months from the last group that we had, in-person group that we had, to the first one that we started a few weeks ago. As time went on and their routines, they had no routines because of the lockdown. Everything was on hold. They weren't seeing the people that they would normally see. It was very, very tough for them. And we've sort of over the years built up a community within Dancing for Wellbeing. We do see Dancing for Wellbeing as a community, and in each group that there is that sort of community of members. And we were very concerned about losing that sense of community and togetherness and the connection. And I think some of our members found it harder than others. Those who live on their own, particularly not seeing family, not seeing friends, not having that routine, was incredibly difficult for them. And also our group members are very much in that category of the high risk category. If some of them, if they'd caught it, they just knew that they would be in hospital and they were possibly going to lose their lives. So there was a tremendous amount of fear and uncertainty and anxiety. Once we were all inside, as the weather got worse, you know, they were certainly struggling to keep active. And I think all of our members have said that they've lost fitness. And now we've come back to the groups, we're all feeling it, actually, including the staff, by the way. What we've been able to do during the pandemic and what was so helpful about the Tackling Inequalities funding was that we started fairly quickly doing Facebook sessions. In fact, we started doing them every day. And then we gradually sort of decreased a little bit to 3 times a week. And we were basically running out of money. By the time we got that funding, we were really concerned about being able to continue to do those Facebook sessions. And also all the keeping in touch with people that we'd been doing to try to keep that connection going, phone calls, emails, that kind of thing. The Tackling Inequalities funding just came at the right time, actually, and we were able to continue to do our Facebook sessions. Then we changed to Zoom, which had the advantage, of course, of people being able to see each other and have a chat and actually dance together, which made a bit of a difference. The other thing that the Tackling Inequalities funding helped with was we bought they were sort of, we got funding from a few different people, actually, and Tackling Inequalities funding was part of this. We bought these lovely, you see that, Dancing for Wellbeing logoed prop bags, which we have scarves, we have pom-poms. I'll give you a little twirly whirly, hang on. Oh God, I'm getting all mixed up here. We have ribbon sticks, which are marvellous things. I don't know if you can see me doing some ribbon sticks. And we have shaker eggs. So we delivered these to all of our members, and we delivered them in about October, November time. If you remember, we went into lockdown again in November, and we were going to winter, and we thought, you know, they need something to try to sort of motivate them to do some exercise at home, either, you know, using our Zoom. We also incidentally did some films, which we put on a YouTube channel, and films of sessions with props that they could follow those, or they could just use them dancing to music, you know, that they were listening to. And we just thought the bright colours and everything would be a really good thing to do. We actually delivered them ourselves, and that was really nice to have some chats on the doorstep with people and actually sort of explain what the bags were all about and what we were trying to encourage them to do. And that was fantastic. The last chunk of money, which is the biggest, is to help us to get back, having restarted our groups. Of course, we're still in the situation where we've got to do social distancing. So we can't have, you know, we did have sort of 20 people in groups at times, 15, 20, sometimes 25 people, actually quite, you know, not much space between. So we've had to do lots of subgroups, and we've done all sorts of different arrangements. And of course, our income is considerably reduced. So the money from the Tackling Inequalities Fund is helping us to just replace that shortfall in income while we're still having to do this this system, really. The impact of the Tackling Inequalities funding on our members really has been that they have had the opportunity to keep connected with us, to keep that connection going, to feel still part of the Dancing for Wellbeing community, to feel cared about. Is really important, and to use the props that we've sent them to keep fit, to actually see us online. And we've had some lovely feedback from people saying how much that has meant to them. And then coming back, I mean, we're still getting used to having to sort of have our distance between us and everything, but it's so wonderful to be back. And actually there is something to be said for these smaller groups. In fact, we were saying that at the Monday group, the Friends Meeting House group this week, that actually it was quite nice to have this space, because we felt that we could really kind of spread our arms about, and we weren't quite so enclosed really. And it was a little bit quieter as well, and we could all sort of hear each other speak and chat together. So there were some sort of advantages with it, actually. So it is going to help us enormously to get through to the other side, hopefully, and get back to normal. I was contacted by your director and just an email saying, how's it going, Jackie? Is there anything we can do to support you? And I can't tell you how much that meant to me, because we'd been applying for funding and we'd not been getting anywhere. And I was really, really worried about how we were going to cope. You made it, in North Yorkshire Sport, it was sort of made easy for us to apply for it, because, you just helped us through. And it was like a sort of shorthand, I suppose. Our area, what we do. Some of your people have visited our groups. We didn't have to over-explain and sort of prove ourselves like you do with some funding applications. So it really helped, I think, to have that knowledge, that you had that knowledge about us. And yeah, I felt really supported.